Today we're going to be talking about, again, how time goes so quick. It's just crazy to look back and see how you did this event, this experience that you thought was going to be life-changing. It was life-changing, is life-changing, but yet time keeps going on, and when it comes to an end, like, you still got to keep going. So I kind of want to talk about that, and then just like a little update, or kind of like a little stuff that's been happening, and I just want to talk about it as well. But with that being said, welcome to another episode of Middle Menisco. Today we have another solo episode, as you can tell, and with not the same format, because last episode was just like normal, but this one I'm again laying down, kind of like pretend you're next to me and we're just talking and having a conversation. But yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify. You could subscribe there, follow there, and comment as well, and follow in Apple Podcasts as well. With that being said, let's start the episode. Whew, okay. That was a lot. That was really quick. So I came back from my Tennessee trip 2 weeks ago, April 30th. So May 1st, I was already here, and I've gotten some ideas of like what I want to do, kind of like what's the next step. But I've been afraid to kind of go that route. I've been afraid to either send the emails or, pretty much send the message, because I have an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity there, but I think I'm just scared of, it's kind of cold. I think I'm kind of scared of just the whole process of filming, and like having to be director of, okay, I want this scene and I want that scene, and blah blah blah, or stuff like that. So it's been very interesting to kind of like start convincing myself that everything's gonna be okay, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be okay, just like everything else. And even if it isn't, time's still gonna pass by, and it's like we're gonna forget that experience, or that experience is gonna pass anyways. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now, but it's taking me a while to kind of like send the message. And then I'm back to work. We are back working. I'm working again. So it's a part-time, so I'm not working every single day. So I definitely need to find like another means of income. But I think even with all these like fears and doubts, and kind of like, is this the next step, or just like trying to lie to myself, there's also a lot of good stuff. And that's something I've noticed about myself, is that I tend to like talk about the best stuff, and it's a pattern. I used to be a very negative person, but I think with all of that, I think it's fair to say that I've also tried to like be more positive, and like trying to see the optimistic side of things, and again, just learning more about myself, and being more aware, and like being able to take action when I notice these things. So I've been listening. I watched this video on Instagram, I believe, and this girl, I think she's a social media coach. Like, she coaches people who want to start in social media, and she does this thing where she just follows her intuition. So if she feels like going on a drive, and then ends up somewhere, and then from that place, like, she feels inclined to talk to somebody, and then like it ends up being like a good conversation. Like in that case, from what I remember from that video, she ended up at this like Warner Brothers something event or place, and then she ended up talking to one of the employees, and this employee, she was kind of like, she was stuck at where she was, like she didn't know what to do, and like she wanted to start content creation, blah blah blah, which was a perfect match because she's into content creation, blah blah blah. So that kind of stayed in my head for a bit. So I kind of felt like doing the same. So I'm like, okay. Or it kind of stayed in my head for sure. And I've noticed that I definitely have to start getting more out of my comfort zone, challenging myself. So there's been two things that I've done, or two experiences. There's one thing that I'm going to start doing, that I've already started doing, and then there's one thing I want to do more of. And the first one that I've been doing more of, or that I started doing, is I'm going to start training for calisthenics. So I've noticed especially I'm in a mentorship too, so that really helps on like reflecting and analyzing. So I've noticed that I'm someone that likes to be challenged, or like I like to challenge myself, but in specific ways. And one of the ways that I've noticed is that I like movement. I like to move, and I like to challenge myself in like how my body can move. So I feel like calisthenics has always piqued my interest, but I've never really like committed, because there's that whole thing of having to figure out how things work and like what they should you start with, blah blah blah. And when I came back from Tennessee, I think the first week or the second week, it's now been like 3 weeks now. So the second week, I see this video from this lady. Her name's Taylor, I believe, and she's doing this handstand, but then she's also doing this kick over, and everything just like the movement and everything just seems so flawless and so in flow and in control and like so beautiful. And there's a one word that I mentioned before and I don't remember, but it was just like, it was a really like, it just looked freaking cool. So I'm like, yo, I want to do that. And it's so interesting how marketing works too, because she, even though I believe that's calisthenics, like she markets it as training like an assassin. So it's very interesting, and that's where like the marketing and like how you talk about certain things, because like when being an assassin, I guess you tend to be more of like in control and subtle movements and very flowy and slow but in control. So it seems very powerful, and I think that's what, at the end of the day, that's the essence of her course, is that you get to be more confident, more in control. You have this confidence in your movement as well. So all of that, I was like, it just got me, like that marketing got me. And of course, like the videos that she posts, like it's the things that she does, I was like, oh shit, I want to do that too. It's part of calisthenics. Let's go. So I ended up buying it. And the day I'm recording, this is my second week, like my first day of my second week. And the things are very simple. There's exercises that I've done before. There's exercises that I've never done before. And it's also pretty cool, because even though I don't know where this is going to take me, I am recording this whole process, and it is going to be a YouTube video. So definitely like stay tuned for that. But it's definitely interesting to kind of like follow my intuition in that sense, because I was like, man, this is $48. I don't know if I could afford this right now. But I'm like, yo, I want to do this. I'm genuinely curious about this. I genuinely want to learn more about this. And if I don't start now, what am I gonna do? So, and this is an investment for my YouTube channel, and I get to create a video, learn this, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay. So I start. There was one of the things I learned about myself was that, actually, because sometimes I feel like, oh, my body's like very weak, blah blah blah. And even though I've exercised for a very long time, I feel like I'm not where my body, like movement-wise, strength-wise, it's still not where I want it to be. But doing some of these exercises, I was like, damn, I could actually do some of the variations where it's like the full-on variation, not like modification, something like that. So it's very cool to kind of like see how strong my body is in some of the exercises. And some of the exercises definitely do need strength. But that was very motivating. And I also realized that, I could be someone who's committed to certain things, but I just genuinely really have to enjoy and like want to see the results, or not even the result, but like the progress of things. Because I'm not gonna do a handstand in 4 weeks, but there's definitely gonna be some type of improvement with like doing a crow pose, or being able to like do the handstand with my legs on the chair and doing pretty much an L. And that's something I can't do right now, but I know at some point in 4 weeks I'll be able to do that. And just being able to see the progress and imagine and visualize, and then in like freaking 2, 3, 6 months, a year, I'll be able to do a handstand or a kick over, like, or splits or middle splits. Like, it's just, for me, that's kind of crazy, and that really motivates. Like, I'm super excited to be able to see that. And there's other things where I'm just not as excited. So I've realized that one of the things is that I like to challenge myself, like challenge like my body. And I've noticed that this is like that feeling of like being excited. It's something I kind of lost a bit. and I found that spark again with this. So I'm really excited. I'm definitely committed. I've been exercising. The first week I exercised 5 days. This week I'm planning on doing 6 days. So it's like, I know I'm committed. Like, I know I'm super excited about this. So I think, like, for y'all to reflect as well is, like, what's really piquing your interest, what are you curious about, and kind of following that. Because if I wouldn't have bought that course, I don't know what I would be doing, and maybe something else would have come by. But, like, right now with this thing, I'm, like, really excited about. I'm really super super excited. Like, I can't wait to share with y'all and be like, yo, this how it was and this how it ended. And I'm gonna continue doing this whole thing and challenging myself, and, like, just getting to a point where I could do a handstand, where I could do, whatever I just repeated that I'm gonna do. So that was really fun. It's been really fun, and, like, I'm not, like, dragging it with, like, oh man, I have to work today. I have to work out today. It's more like, damn, I get to work out today. I get to work out outside. I even got this horrible tan. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, it's just been fun, and I'm not, like, pressuring myself to, like, go, like, super, like, hard. And it's like, no, like, do the movements, do 3 sets, like, take your time, don't take your time. Like, there's times where I do feel like giving it my all, and there's times where I don't feel like giving my all, and it's just, like, listening to my body. I think that's also been a really cool process, and something to, like, see and be aware of. And yeah, so that's been the first thing. The second thing that I want to do more of is just getting more out of my comfort zone socially. Like, I definitely want to go to more events. I want to talk to, like, go back to interviews, and yeah, just do, like, random ass stuff, and just, like, and interact with people. With this whole story I talked about with the Instagram lady, with the Instagram girl, so that stood in my head. And so this past, when was it? It was this Friday. I had to go to New York to babysit, and I ended up waking up late, so I missed my first train. And I'm like, shoot, I'm late. I just, like, changed, brushed my teeth, used the bathroom, got some cookies. I don't know where I left those cookies, actually. But I brought some cookies. I ended up not eating them, and my mom dropped me off to the train station, and then bam, I left. And then, so when I got into that train station, I saw these 3 nuns, and religion is a topic that's been coming up more often in my life. Like, whether it's, like, conversation with my brother, or conversation with my mom, or parents, it's just a topic that we've talked about a bit more, or just in myself. Just like, conversation with myself about religion, or just not religion, or, like, God specifically, or universe. And so when I saw the nuns, I was like, it really piqued my interest, and I had this instinct of wanting to talk to them, but I was scared, and I kept on walking, and I sat down, kind of like it was like the whole train, but the cart. So I was in the same cart, but I was pretty much, like, on the opposite side of them. So I sat down, I took out my book, I was, like, reading, but in my head I was like, yo, I want to go talk to them. Like, I'm genuinely curious. I wonder, like, how's the conversation gonna be about? How's it gonna go? What's it gonna be about? So it really piqued my interest. So I was kind of, like, motivating myself. Okay, like, we're gonna go. And I was, okay. So once we get to this train station, I'll go and talk to them. So the train station came by, and okay, I was like, let me double check that they're not leaving, and then so I don't, like, miss my spot, miss my seat. And they didn't leave, so I was like, okay, let's go. So I didn't even think about it. I didn't even do 3, 2, 1. I just got up and started walking towards them. And I walked towards them. Because I don't know if y'all seen the Metro North Station trains, or the seats, where it's like, there's, like, the 3 ones, but there's, like, this 3 in the beginning when you enter the door. There's the 3, but they're, like, facing each other. So that's where they sat. So I was able to sit right across from them and be face to face. So I was like, hi, how are you? Don't quote me on this. I don't remember how I started, but it was pretty much like, do you think I could have a conversation with y'all? Like, I'm really curious of, like, but you guys being nuns. And then I confirmed, like, oh, you guys are nuns, right? Like, you're not just dressed because you're going to a Halloween party. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. But I did say, like, you guys are nuns. And they were like, yeah. I said, like, yeah. I was already sitting down, so I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm, like, super curious of, like, what's it like being a nun, the process, blah, blah. And that whole thing just ended up being a whole conversation. And it was really cool because I was also super excited. Like, I usually don't get these type of feelings of excitement and joy and, like, the adrenaline rush. So I was pumped. I was, like, asking questions. And, you know, like, those things kind of, like, make me kind of question my beliefs about myself, because sometimes I feel like I don't know how to start a conversation, or I don't know, or I'm really bad at conversations, blah, blah, blah. But when something really, really piques my interest, and then I feel like the other person also kind of matches, I feel like it's just genuinely a very good conversation. So we were, like, talking from that station to all the way to New York, and the lady that sat next to us, she joined the conversation, and we just had a whole conversation on, like, religion and God and having faith, and me sharing my stories of, like, I went to Tennessee and these things happened, and, like, I never stopped trusting. It was more like, I know I trust you, and I'm just gonna let things flow. I won't control things. And it was really beautiful, like, the things that I was able to receive from God, from universe, from my spirit guides, and, like, you know, this whole team that we have. I'm like, this is super cool. Like, I'm super excited that I was able. At the end of the day, I was super excited that I was able to talk to you. I even told them, like, you know, I saw you guys, and I'm like, I want to talk to you guys, but, you know, that fear thing, and I was like, but then I was, like, in my seat, and I was like, no, I have to go, like, just get over my fear, follow my intuition, that I don't know where this conversation is gonna go. So I was super excited just after that whole thing, and then we ended up taking pictures together. I was like, yo, can I take a picture of you guys? And, like, they joined the picture. We took a selfie, and yeah, they're like, we're gonna pray for you. We're like, I hope everything goes well. And I'm like, thank you so much. And just, like, the whole day, it was that whole memory, that whole experience, that whole moment just stood in my head, and that feeling stayed within me. And it's really cool because, again, I used to be someone who's been very negative, or someone who, like, even though I've never been diagnosed with depression, I feel, like, immense sadness sometimes. And for me to feel these feelings, and I know it's not all the time, it hasn't been all the time, but I really treasure these moments, because I'm like, I get super excited, I start talking really fast, or I start talking louder than I usually do, and I'm just in a good mood. And that whole day I was in a good mood, and I was telling everybody my story, like, yo, I got out of my comfort zone, and I want to talk to these nuns, and it's just, like, the randomest thing ever. But it was such an amazing experience. I'm super grateful for them, and that also made me think about how, you know, sometimes we miss these opportunities of, like, you know, I was supposed to take an earlier train, and maybe something else had to happen. But, you know, even when we do miss even when we do miss these opportunities where we think we should have done, there's opportunities that also come by on the next train, for this analogy. So let me repeat that again so I could put this in a clip. So there's opportunities that there's moments that sometimes we miss because of fear, or because, you know, we wake up late and we miss our train. And even though there's going to be things that were supposed to happen in those moments, when we take the next train, there's another opportunity there waiting for us, and we just have to take it. It's up to us. If we decide to miss it again, like, I could have missed my opportunity to talk to the nuns, and I don't know how my day would have gone. I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to share this story at all. So, you know, if you feel like you've missed an opportunity, know that another door is going to open. Like, know that for sure. So that's really what I learned with this experience as well, because I was like, shit, I was supposed to be there early, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, when I got to my babysitting job to babysit my nephew, my aunts were there too, and I was able to tell the story, and they started laughing, and, like, just like, oh, like you're crazy, like crazy in the sense of like not crazy in the bad sense, like crazy as in you're very like adventurous and like you have these stories to tell, and it's really cool to kind of be that person as well, because sometimes it's needed. Sometimes we get stuck in this routine and everything's the same, and it's like sometimes we just want to hear something new, and it's like I get to be that person sometimes, So that was really exciting. I'm really super. How much time do I have left? Yeah, that was really exciting, and again, like we really reflect on those things. Like I know fear is like a big thing for a lot of us. Like just like what are they gonna say? What am I gonna say? Like if I go and start a conversation, what am I gonna say? Like blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that come up, but if we're able to kind of like go past that, we realize that we're gonna create amazing moments and amazing experiences, and also that time is gonna pass by. Like I keep saying this all the time, but time goes by, and if I would have embarrassed myself with these nuns, it wouldn't have mattered because 5 days already passed. Like 5 days already passed, and it's like I might not ever see them again. I might see them again. I don't know. Who knows? And by the end of the day, like I took that risk, or I took that opportunity